Ladies and gentlemen, it's your resident Black Spider-Man. You know who it is, aka Starboy Karabo Mdluli. We are back. You know, I promised you guys content and I'm delivering on that promise. I'm here on a gloomy morning in Bryanston, but you know, we persevere, we move. Shout out to Bryanston Warriors and the King's College for the location. So this month's question, I just wanted to jump straight into it. This month's question was quite a deep one for a lot of people and also for me. So the two questions I asked for this month's voicemails series. I'm getting my whole series name wrong. We called it voicemails now, apparently. So this month's questions are, do you believe in soulmates and do you believe in true love? So this one was quite deep. I think for everyone involved, it allowed, I think this question in particular allowed people to take it into various different realms, different I don't know, just kind of different wave patterns, like beliefs, all that kind of stuff. And that's what I really love about this series and these questions. So jumping right in, do I believe in soulmates? I think this is a two-part answer for me because I think there's a part of me that wants to say yes. I think the idea of one person in the world that is just absolutely perfect for you or make you the most happiest and everything on paper sounds amazing. And sign me up for that if that is true. But I think the overall, I don't know, that belief system or that thing of thinking that in a world of 7 billion people that there's only one person for you is incredibly delusional. And to be and I'm not trying to sound rude, but if that's what you believe, you're idiotic. That's just dumb. But at the same time, I do understand how that romanticism is quite appealing, and from that point of view, it would be great for me to say yes, but fundamentally, I don't think that's true. I think if we're thinking as far as lovers are concerned, I don't think that there is just one person for you or that only one person in the world can make you happy. I think you can make it work with a multitude of people. I think, don't get me wrong, as a Christian, I do believe that God sets aside someone perfect for you, or that is potentially possible, but it doesn't mean that you can't make it work with anyone, in my very humble opinion. However, so from that definition of soulmates, like the lovers and what movies and television and books have kind of dictated what a soulmate is, I don't believe in soulmates. But from this point of view, I think in life you come across people who stay longer than others, who have more impact on your life, be it friends or family members or strangers or whatever the case may be, who tend to have a lasting impact on your life. And I think if that's what you want to call soulmates, I'm inclined to believe that's what a soulmate is. I've made some incredible friends in my life who I hope are friends for my whole lifetime. I'm very close with certain family members who I hope I'm close with for the rest of my life. And I would love to believe these are my soulmates. So from that point of view, I'm going to say yes, I do believe in soulmates. I know that's a bit of a cop-out, but at least I gave my answers. And do I believe in true love? Again, I think this is another two-part answer because I think it's hard for me to really say yes, because I think that in the world that we live in as humans, I personally believe that we don't really display true love. And what I mean by that is, I think when we as humans show love and generosity, I think it's genuine and I think we can love people, but then I think we always do it with that thought of we want to receive it back, be it from the person that we're displaying it to or just from the world or the universe or karma or whatever you believe. And for me, that's not true love. I think true love is unconditional. I think it's entirely not based on wanting to receive it back. And because I'm inclined to believe that every single person in the world does it, where we show love, and I'm not saying it's not genuine when we show love or generosity or whatever the case may be. I just don't think that we do it unconditionally, which, yeah, for me, I think love in a human sense is it's a construct. It's like the Matrix. It's real, but it's not real. And I know that's a very pessimistic view on what true love is, but that's really what I believe. And I firmly believe that the only person or the only being that's ever shown true love is God. When Jesus died on the cross for us, and I think when God shows love, that is entirely unconditional, or at least when Jesus died for us, that was entirely unconditional. So for me, is true love real? It is real, but I don't think that humans display it. So do I believe in true love? Again, two-part answer. yes, because I think only God shows it, but no in the sense that I don't think humans show it. But enough about me, let me get into what you guys said. Thank you so much to everyone who participated. Again, we went global with this one. Melina from Georgia finally sent her voice note. Thank you so much, Melina. I'm calling you out now. I'm so stoked. I got an amazing singer from London named Ella Frank on the podcast, who I'm a huge fan of. I was buzzing when she sent through her thing. So yeah, thank you so much for everyone who was involved. We got people from Austria, Australia, Georgia, like I said, the UK. It's big. The series is amazing. So hope you guys enjoy.
Hey beautiful people, my name is Amy and I'm from Cape Town. And do I think that true love exists? Yes, 100% I do. But not in a romantic sense though. Not as Bruno Mars describes it, that he'd catch a grenade for you and do anything for you. Jump in front of a train. Unrealistic. The only person that stays true to that type of statement is God. John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son for us, sinful human beings. And he did that knowing that we may or may not accept him or love him back. And yet he still did it for us and to reconcile us to him after we messed up in the Garden of Eden. I think that's the most true, pure version of love that you can find. As for soulmates, I don't think that it exists, but if you asked me this question a few years back, because of all the rom-coms, I would have probably said yes. If I look at my parents, I don't see them as madly in love, but I see them as people that made conscious decisions to be with each other despite their flaws. And even when they were describing their dating lives, it was never like this romanticized engagement. Like, they were very sober-minded going into their relationship. And so I don't think that soulmates exist. I just think it's two people that choose each other over every season, over every circumstance of life. Whether you lose your job, whether someone dies, whether your mental health is not up to scratch, that is the person you choose. But to use the term soulmates, I think it kind of takes away from your free will as an individual, a gift that God gave us, free will, right? And I think it's also kind of selfish to think that there's this whole other person specifically curated to you and for you. So no, I don't think that soulmates exist.
Hi there, I'm Bernice Laubscher and I'm currently a student at Stellenbosch University studying BCom Industrial Psychology. So, do I believe in soulmates and do I believe in true love? At first I was like, what is it really? What does it mean? Because I think for myself personally, I always had this idea in my mind of soulmates and true love is this thing that only exists in movies, and it's like this fairy tale story that people hear or people tell you. So yeah, I think if you go look at what a soulmate is, it's someone that is ideally suited for another person as close friends, as a romantic partner. So I think if I look at what that is, I definitely do believe in soulmates, because I feel like throughout your life you have different people that you just connect with, and you kind of like, you get each other, you know what this person is thinking, this person understands you understand them, and I think it's definitely true that soulmates is not just on a romantic level. So I feel like this thing about you only have one soulmate is also not something I believe in. I believe that there's definitely more than one soulmate for you out there. If it's friends, if it's like romantic partners. So yeah, I think I definitely do believe in soulmates. I believe certain people are brought onto your path and come onto your path in life, and you just understand each other and you have this deep connection you can't really explain to someone else. And yeah, I definitely I believe that you can have that as friends, or you can have that as a romantic relationship. And then, do I believe in true love? So I also feel like true love is this fairy tale picture that's painted for us, like people fall in love and they get married, and that's just how it is, and they live happily ever after. So I think yet again, like, I went to see what true love really is, and it says true love is a strong and lasting affection between spouses or lovers, and they talk about a happy, passionate and fulfilling relationship. So I think if I see that, my answer to do I believe in true love is yes and no, because I believe you get something as passionate love. Passionate love is like something when you're in a new relationship, and it's like this physical thing, and this person just makes you feel so good, and everything is just amazing. But then you also get something that's called companionate love. I hope I've said that right. But companion love or companionate love is something that it's more for people that has been married for like 10 or 20 years, and it's like an understanding, and you love each other no matter what happens, no matter what the other person does. It's there, it's not going to go away. It's kind of like unconditional, like this person is with you and you love them no matter what happens. So I think true love is kind of like a combination of that. And I definitely feel we as people have a lot of flaws, and we might not be able to, in our human nature, be able to love people in that way, like loving them in a true love kind of way. So I feel, in my opinion, the only person that can really give you true love is God. And yes, other people can give you love, and it's going to be amazing, and it's going to be something you also can't explain to anyone. But I feel like among people, because we make mistakes and we fight and we get emotional sometimes, it's never going to be that true love, like without faults, without misunderstandings, without any complications. So that's why my answer to this question is yes, I believe in true love, and no, I don't believe in true love, because I feel like it isn't something that you get every day, but I also feel like it's something you definitely get from God. So true love is definitely something that can cross paths with you. And yet again, I also feel like true love isn't just you get true love once in your life and from one person, like if it comes from a person. I feel like true love can be something you have for your family, like your mom or your sisters, your brothers, but you can also have something similar to true love for your husband one day, or your wife, or your partner one day. So I think that's my opinion on do I believe in soulmates, and do I believe in true love. So thank you for listening to me, and it was nice to get thinking on this topic. Bye.
My name is Cassidy Postman. I'm originally from the Eastern Cape, but I live in Johannesburg. I do believe in soulmates. I believe that soulmates can come in the form of friends or lovers, and soulmates have a tie and a bond together that nobody can break, and they'll always be drawn to one another forever. And true love. Unfortunately, I have a cynical view on true love, but I do believe in true love, and it's not as instantaneous as they show it and in the movies. It's not as like love at first sight. I don't think that's true, but I do believe in true love if you decide to love someone.
Hi, my name is Ella Frank. I'm a singer-songwriter from London. Super happy to be on the podcast today. Do I believe in soulmates? I do. I think that soulmates are definitely a thing. I, however, am not necessarily inclined to believe that soulmates are only necessarily a romantic connection between two people. I feel like your soulmate could be a friend, it could be a family member, or a lover, your partner. But I don't feel like it necessarily works the same way for everybody. I feel that, yeah, you can have your soulmate and that might not necessarily be your partner. So probably not the same view as most people, but I do believe that they exist. Do I believe in true love? I do. I do believe in true love. I guess I just believe in love in general. I mean, the words true love would mean, I guess by definition, that it's the strongest love connection that you have with an individual, more so than you will ever have with anybody else. That part, I'm not 100% sure if I feel that it is just a one-time thing. I feel like you can be in love more than once, and I feel like you can have a different kind of love for different people. I do believe that strong love exists, and the person that you, I guess, potentially spend the rest of your life with, we would all love to believe that that is what we class as true love. So I think that I would like to believe that true love exists, but I definitely believe that you can fall in love more than once for various reasons. But I also feel that just as much as you can fall in love more than once, you can fall out of it, which might then lead you to fall in love with somebody else. And then because of the experience you've had with previous partners, and the love you've experienced previously, the next love you go on to feel could be stronger or different. Or so, yeah, I mean, I would like to believe that true love exists. I think that my strongest belief, more so, is that I think you can love multiple times, I guess. That doesn't mean that the person you are with is necessarily, you know, you don't love them as much as the last person. Like I said, I think love can be experienced differently and in many forms, and to many different strengths. So yeah, that was I guess that wasn't as straightforward as it could have been, but yeah, true love is one of those things that I guess the more I experience, the more my feelings towards it change. But yeah, I would like to believe that it exists.
Hi everyone, my name is Esther Wangu. I'm from Nairobi, Kenya, and I'm glad to be back. I hope everyone is okay, and I hope they're fine. So the question, do I believe in soulmates? Yes. How I know this is, I'm always thinking, like, to my friends, like, don't embarrass me because my soulmate might be in the vicinity. And it's not in some views splitting human beings into two out of fear and jealousy or some superficial kind of thing, but I think we are all the same deep down, even in our differences. So we're connected, and in that way we are bound to come across people who are potentially compatible with us, like in terms of spirituality, intellect, sexually, financially. And yeah, like some of these, would I call them values or concepts, are bound to align with another person. So in this light, you could have anyone, you could choose anyone to be your soulmate, or you could choose many soulmates. Yeah, like it's possible to have one or more soulmates, and I don't think it always has to be romantic. I think platonic soulmates do exist. Yeah, so that's my take on that. Do I believe in true love? Also, yeah. And like as a theoretical concept of finding someone, being intentional with them, and choosing them over and over and over again each and every day. Yeah, that does kind of make sense. If it were to exist, that would be true love for me. And intentionally in terms of being open and communicating to this person, paying attention to them and their needs, their interests, and them giving this back to you, and loving people. Most importantly, loving. If someone was to love me how I wanted to be loved, not how they think I should be loved, that would be true love for me. I mean, like, not projecting your love language to your significant other is just what love is. Love should be. And subjectively, I haven't experienced this, but this is what I think. This is how I think true love should be. If I was, when I'll experience this. When, and yeah, so that's what for both answers, for both the answer is yes. And yeah, thank you and goodbye everyone. Sorry, I did what I mumbled a lot.
Hey, I'm Gareth Stark. I'm based in Johannesburg, specifically Honeydew Ridge, kind of Rudaport area, and I can't say that because my Irish accent doesn't allow me to. But yeah, I'm going to be answering these two questions. So do I believe in soulmates, and do I believe in true love? Now, just off the bat, I'm going to say I'm going to be answering these questions purely from not purely from a Christian perspective, but largely from a Christian perspective, and just how I kind of have understood the Bible and understood kind of theology and how God responds to us, and then just kind of my experience in life. So I could be completely off here, but just my perspective. So first off, just the soulmate concept. This concept of, do I believe that that God has made someone specifically for me to love, and for me to marry, and for me to do life with, and without that person, or I should be kind of spending my time trying to find that person, and if I don't find that person, I'm kind of settling and not really, I don't know, almost gonna have a full relationship of experience, full love, because I'm not with that soulmate. That's how I understand the concept, and straight off, I don't believe in it. I don't believe that there's one specific person out there that will kind of meet every need that I have and love me exactly the way I need to, or need to be loved, or anything like that. I don't believe there's one person that God has specifically made, because I think first off, it puts too much pressure on the people I'm going to come into contact with. So I'm married. I've been happily married for 5 years now. I have a daughter, and hopefully more kids soon. And it puts that concept puts enormous pressure on my spouse, my wife, because if she's supposed to be the soulmate that almost has to love me the way I need to be loved, and is going to almost that kind of Hollywood thing of completing me. And if she doesn't, and she doesn't measure up to those standards, it is a flippin' hard time for her. So I just, based on experience and based on how I see the world and how I understand relationships to be, I don't believe there's a thing of soulmates. I believe that once you're married from a biblical perspective, almost a joining of two people to become one and to kind of have that wholeness that God intended. But that only comes after marriage, if that makes sense. So not before marriage, and I have to find my soulmate. And once I find him, then I'm going to get married because I don't want to let that person go. It's almost the reverse of that. Is I find my spouse and I find someone who I'm going to choose to love for the rest of my life, and then through marriage, you see this concept of two becoming one that the Bible almost talks about, and you have that wholeness there. Still, because we're sinful people and because we all fall short, and because often we're self-seeking, which almost comes into the second question about true love, still there's going to be a lot of errors and a lot of work in the relationship. It's not going to be this kind of happy-go-lucky, kind of easygoing, running into the sunset kind of thing. It's that relationship, that oneness relationship, still is going to take a whole lot of work, because all of us have our faults and our work areas. But yeah, that's my perspective on soulmates. I don't believe there's one person that's been made specifically for me and that they're going to complete me. But I do believe once you're married and after marriage, there is this wholeness that comes about that God always intended marriage to kind of facilitate. Is this oneness, this two people becoming one. My perspective on the second question, so do I believe in true love? Yeah, I do. But again, I think it's just a matter of defining almost what true love is. And again, from a biblical perspective, if we study theology, we see there's a whole bunch of different kinds of love, and I believe it's in the culmination of all of those loves that we see what true love looks like. And so there's a sacrificial love. It's basically love that doesn't require anything in return. It's not a response to anything. It's a giving of oneself, and we see that sacrificial love. We see friendship, which is a type of love. We see family love, the love that family have for one another, and will kind of always like a father and mother have towards their children, brothers and sisters have towards each other. Just this solid love that's very different from that kind of almost a sacrificial love or a friendship kind of love. And then the last kind of love in my head and my understanding is that romantic love that we often see between a spouse or between spouses, not just a spouse, between spouses or couples or whatever it may be. And so I think it's in the culmination of all of those that we see what true love really looks like. And again, just from a biblical perspective, I think it's really seen in God towards us. And if we were to try and love others the way God loves us, which is actually if we look at what the church is supposed to be, and some churches get it more right than others, but it's the church as a whole, what Christians are supposed to be is exactly that. This true love that's shown to us by God's love towards us, that no matter what we do and we fall short, God still loves us. That God, we're called friends of God in the Bible. This parental kind of love towards us. It's when we love others in that way, I think when anyone experiences that true love, it's an incredible thing, and it's what the church is supposed to be. So in the context of, I think, relationships, which is kind of what these questions are geared towards, I think the best version of love is sacrificial love. I think when you look at it in friendships, or when you look at it in marriages or relationships, when you look at it from child to parent to child, the sacrificial love is just is what makes other people feel loved, and it's not self-seeking. It's not selfish in any sort of way. So if I was again to put in the context of something like my marriage to my wife, it's me doing everything I can to make sure her needs are met. that she feels affirmed, that she feels loved, that she feels accepted by me. And when I place all that focus on trying to meet her needs rather than trying to get what I want out of the relationship, then she feels loved. And if she does the same thing from her side, if she makes sure or does everything in her power to make sure I feel affirmed and accepted and whatever else that we can throw in there, it's this thing of when both parties are doing that, that's when relationships thrive, that's when a marriage thrives. But again, because we all fall short, when we don't feel loved, we tend to pull back on that sacrificial love. We try to then almost take away love because we're not feeling loved or accepted or affirmed or any of that kind of stuff. And so I do believe in true love. I think it's demonstrated purely in action, and it's when true love properly operates, it's between multiple parties. It can't just be from one side, because again, it's that sacrificial laying down my life, making sure, laying down my needs, laying down my selfish ambitions, all of that kind of stuff, and just putting the priorities on how I best meet the needs of my wife, or how I best affirm my friendships or my kids or my parents, how I best serve them. And again, if this thing operates perfectly, the same will come from the other direction. So it's when my wife or my parents or my daughter or my friends or whatever it is, when they love me back that way, suddenly you get this, for me, this example of what true love should be, what it is, and it's a beautiful picture. But again, because we're faulty and we all have our working areas, and because we all fall short so often we tend to focus on ourselves and our needs rather than others. And when we don't feel loved, we don't give out love, and it kind of spirals out of control. And so, yeah, I do believe in true love, but I think it's when both parties come together, whether it's me and my spouse, and we're sacrificially looking after the needs of the other party, or whether it's between friends or communities, whatever it may be, it has to be unselfish. I don't even know if that's a proper word, but we'll lay it down to my Irishness. But yeah, that's my perspective on those two questions. I think this is a flippin' deep topic, and you could go into all, again, from just my Christian perspective, all the theological evidences for this. Again, we can dig deeper into kind of how God loves us and how that's just a perfect example of how we are supposed to love those around us. And then the same thing is us loving God back that way, and when we feel affirmed and when true love's happening, we could love others better. But that's a whole nother set of questions, and it's a whole nother discussion. And so in the context of relationships, I believe soulmates. I don't believe it in that kind of Hollywood vibe. I believe it's a reverse thing. And so when two people come together, God almost seals up marriage and seals up two people becoming one, thatness, and you have this properly joined couple afterwards, not beforehand, if that makes sense. And then true love, again, between two parties, whether that be spouses, a husband and wife, whether it be a couple, whether it be friends, whether it be family, whether it be communities loving each other. It has to be between two or more parties, and it has to be sacrificial. It has to be every single individual that's involved in that relationship laying down their own needs and just caring about the others. And in that, everyone's needs are met anyway. So cool. I hope that answers the questions, and thanks for having me involved in this. Super awesome. Amped to be a part of this podcast. It's a phenomenal thing. Love the creative space, and love what you guys are doing.
Hello, idealers. Goitseona Michelle speaking. I am from South Africa, born and raised in Pretoria. Still live in Pretoria. So, do I believe in soulmates and true love? With soulmates, I would say not necessarily, in the sense of I do not believe that soulmates just generally exist. There's just some person that is like a puzzle piece, and Soma, you guys are just automatically soulmates. I think, and I've been learning that there are certain steps to becoming not necessarily soulmates, but becoming the person your partner or someone you love or your loved ones need. And in that sense, I don't believe that soulmates generally just exist. I think it's a matter of steps and a matter of events that occur and happen that accumulate, and then that person becomes a significant part of your life. I am definitely still learning in this area, so it's all about my progress in learning. And when it comes to true love, I've been learning and understanding more about it, that I started to see true love as giving, as a decision and devotion to the other person, struggles, being committed to helping someone with their life, helping in every way or in every area possible. For me, I think I'm learning that true love is a desire to see our loved ones' growth, their success, just seeing them, their all-around well-being in a positive and good space, and you being the helper to that. For me, I see as true love. True love is, I think, is a desire to see our loved ones succeed, to see somebody I love, I want them to feel good, to be happy, to see them succeed in life. In order to do that, I think I need to understand their hopes and dreams and fears and needs and traumas in order to cater, to be a helping hand to that. I feel that true love is giving, sharing our gifts to nurture and empower and help those who we love create their greatest experiences and joys and just reach higher heights. I think it's more about the other person, giving the other person and investing into the other person more than what I'm going to receive. True love is to whom you give, those you invest yourself in. I think it's not necessarily about receiving, but more about giving. It's like love is its most important thing, I feel, is consistency. It's like going to the gym for 5 hours in a day. Like if I go to the gym today for 5 hours, my body, I won't necessarily see significant change or any change actually in my body, but going to the gym or like just exercising for at least 30 minutes each and every day consistently in the long run will produce results. So it's not, I feel that true love is not necessarily something that just happens or a button that just switches on at a specific event. It's more of an accumulation of small things, and things we may actually see as small, like literally just saying good morning every morning, doesn't make me just, would be an accumulation of me actually falling in love with someone or just loving them for their consistency. And it's in those small things that accumulate to a specific time or day, or just wake up and I'm like, I actually love this person. So that's my piece, and it is, from my side, I am honestly just learning. It's a process of learning, progression, no perfection, just learning. Thank you.
Hey everyone, my name is Hannah. I am from Johannesburg, South Africa. So for the question, do you believe in soulmates? My answer is yes. I definitely do believe in soulmates. I think it is a very beautiful idea and thought that there is someone out there for everyone. And the aim is obviously to hopefully find that person and, spend your life with them, which is just really, really cool. Such a vibe. So I definitely do believe in soulmates. I think it's such a special connection that you could have with someone. I'm still waiting to find my soulmate. Thought I had, but I don't know now. So then do you believe in true love? I definitely do. I've been in love, and I can tell you it is so great. But then it can also be not so great, because I think as much as love feels incredible, it can also hurt equally as much. The passion you feel for someone can also then turn into something so ugly and so raw, and it's just, sometimes it's great, sometimes it's not so great. And I think people that have been in love will definitely understand what I'm saying. So I definitely believe in soulmates and in true love, and I think it's such a cool thing to think of and dream about, and hopefully find one day, which I hope for everyone that wants to do that.
Okay, so I recorded one before this which was definitely too long, so I'll try and give a brief response to my ideas and thoughts on soulmates and true love. So true love, soulmates, I don't believe in soulmates. If someone had to randomly ask me that question, I would probably tell them off the bat that I don't believe in soulmates. And the reason for this is there's two reasons I don't believe in soulmates. The first reason is I don't see it in scripture, and maybe that's because I'm not reading scripture enough. That's probably very true. It is accurate. I could read scripture more. And the second reason is because I think it would be very cruel if we only had one person that was suitable for us. So those are the sort of two reasons why I don't believe in soulmates. I wanted to get perspective on this, so I obviously asked my wife, and then I asked a colleague of mine. This colleague of mine the colleague that I asked is super new agey and weird, which is all G, you know what, like it brings good perspective. But she basically said she believes in soulmates in different like relationships. So you get like a friend soulmate, an enemy soulmate, and then like a partner soulmate, if that makes sense. Which I was like, cool, like, yeah, sure. Anyway, and then I asked my wife, and my wife was she agreed with me, and she was basically like, yeah, idea of soulmates almost sounds quite cruel. And yeah, it really focuses on one thing, which I think or like one event in your life, which I think God's bigger than that, and God's plan for your life is way bigger than that. So that's like a sort of brief sort of explanation on soulmates. In true love, definitely believe in true love, but I have sort of other ideas on this. So true love, I think it's very worth commenting that I don't believe in love at first sight, and that might be contradictory to some of you who know me well. I met my wife sort of at first sight, but it was a long process until we actually started dating. So this ties into my next thought, which is true love. I feel like the best expression of true love is Jesus on the cross. And yeah, some of you might be like, oh, obviously as a Christian you'd say that, but truly I don't see anything that matches that. And I believe that everything that went into that beforehand was so much work. And that kind of, to me, summarizes true love. Like, true love is work. Being married is work. And Jesus on the cross, everything leading up to that was work as well. So love at first sight is something I don't believe in, because that's not work. and I don't believe that that's sort of a fair representation of love. But true love, yes, I believe in true love. But I'll add like a little sort of bonus, is that I don't think that in this lifetime we can experience true love. Obviously, yes, with Jesus dying on the cross and us gaining salvation from that, we experience true love, we see true love. But I think in this lifetime as people, we are sort of inherently unable to be satisfied. So I don't think that we will experience true love until we get to heaven, or at least understand true love. We might obviously experience it through Jesus. But even in a marriage, I think that's only half of, not even half, less than half of what true love really looks like. So yeah, that's just kind of what I think on it. Again, thank you guys so much for having me on the podcast. I think the topics you guys are sort of asking, and the questions you guys are asking are so cool. And yeah, keep up the good work, man. Love from Australia. I miss everyone back in South Africa. I miss South African culture. See ya.
Yo, I'm not even going to think about this question. I'm just going to say the first things that come to my mind. So that's a real flippant answer. But I think that there's a part of me that does believe you do have a soulmate. But I think for me, the more real side of things is that I think it's hard to say that soulmates are a thing, because I mean, there's billions of humans, and to think that you wouldn't be compatible with another one of those people is, I don't know, I think it's a bit ridiculous. But each to their own. Maybe someone feels like they have a soulmate, and that is fine. But yeah, I don't know. Who knows, eh? But I think for me, I don't rate it. I don't think it makes I don't think it's make or break. Because there will be someone, if anything, it widens the margins. You don't have to worry about missing out on your soulmate, because there's bound to be someone in any pool of humans. But and then true love, there's definitely true love, and that is found in the Father. But that for me personally, obviously it changes, but for me that is it, if you know what I'm saying. That is it. There is no greater love than Jesus. So it's kind of regardless. There will be no human love that can match or fulfill that in that way. So I think, to even, at least from my perspective, everyone else has a different view, but I wouldn't say that you can find that in a person. So that's that, or a human person, a human. But yeah, that is me. That's a 2-minute flippant answer. And yeah, I love you, Linda.
Hi, I'm Josh, and I'm from England. And in the question I said, I don't believe in true love or soulmates, and that's from my own personal experiences. You fall in love head over heels, and you think, oh, this is the one, this is my soulmate, and everything seems so happy and amazing. And even on just in the space of a few days, but mainly probably a few weeks in the case of most people, or months even, it just can just all go completely out of shape so quickly, and then you're just left in a mess. And I think that's shown in our generation too, the amount of divorces and breakups and all the huge mess of relationships, I think. And I think that's quite a sad conclusion, but hopefully our Gen Z or whatever, we can change that and make some improvements.
Hey, my name is Kaede April. I'm from Pretoria, and do I believe in a soulmate and true love? I for sure believe in God being my true soulmate and my true love, but I also believe in having multiple soulmates and true loves. A soulmate that isn't necessarily my spouse, but more than a best friend, more than a sister or a brother, more than my closest friend, but someone that is literally always there, no matter what we have been through, no matter how many fights we've had, no matter the differences in our friend groups and our personalities, but one that you can trust in and you know that they trust in you, one that you can count on when you're having a problem, one that you'll run to first when you have something good to tell, or when you just cannot hold in your tears anymore, that you know that this person is always there for you, one that you can just speak to about literally anything, one that will always be there for as a shoulder to cry on, and as someone to listen to. I believe that a soulmate could literally be somebody that you know for like forever. Somebody that's not necessarily your spouse, but somebody that you will love forever. Someone that will just grow old with you. Someone that you'll be part of their life like forever, and you know that you can count on them and they can count on you. One that is more than a best friend, more than a sister, more than a brother, but a soulmate. That's the type of soulmate that I believe in. And I also believe in having a true love, multiple true loves. Maybe one that you will fall in love with and get married to. But I also believe in having multiple true loves. One that you've been in love with before, but the time that they were meant to be in your life has come to an end. Where you love them, you'll always love them, but you just know that it will never work out again. That you just cannot like stay inverted commas in love with them ever again, but that you just know that you have this connection with them that can never be broken. That's what I believe, that you can have like multiple true loves. One that you've been like with when you were younger, one that you still are going to meet as a friend or as like a lover, and then your life partner or your spouse that is meant to be. I believe that God knows the person that we need to fall in love with, that will be our one true love, that we were lost with, that we're destined to be with until death do us part. So all in all, I do believe in a soulmate and true love. Maybe not the way that everybody perceives it, but for me, as how I have experienced it, I do believe in a soulmate and true love.
Hi, I'm Kelly, and I definitely believe in true love, but I don't think that we have specific like soulmate people for one another. So I don't believe like that we have one person on this earth who's completely compatible with us, or someone who like will only work with that one person. I think that because I'm a Christian, I believe that we all obviously have free will and the choice to do things. So yeah, we can choose whether we want to love someone. So if I'm like deeply in love with someone, but they don't love me back, that's obviously their choice. And I can't be like, oh, but that was that one person for me, if that makes sense. And also I think different people can also just go on a completely different path. So if God hasn't like wanted me to marry this specific person, but something happened and they went on a completely different path of maybe what God has called them to, or something that they were called to in their life and their life journey, then I might have never met them. And I don't think then that that's my true love, or that's the only person that I could have been with, and now I can't be with anyone else. I think there's lots of people that we can be compatible with, and lots of people that we can also fall in love with. But in the same sense, I do believe in true love. I do think that we can love someone like forever, in a sense. Yeah, I do think that there's such a thing as true love, in the sense that if you get married and you just love that person forever, love is also, I believe, a choice. So we also make the decision to choose to love that person, but at the same time it's not super difficult to love that person. Like, it's not like, oh, it's so hard for me to keep choosing to love that person. I do believe that there's definitely emotion where you continually love someone forever, and I don't think that you only have to have true love for one person. I think that you can actually have it for a few people, depending kind of on who you fall in love with. So yeah, that's my answer.
Hi, I'm Kemi from Hayes Magazine. Yeah, I definitely do believe in soulmates and true love. I believe that we have people that come into our lives and they're meant to change something in our lives in a good way, sometimes in a bad way. But I do think that you can have multiple soulmates. These also come in the form of friends and obviously romantic relationships. But I believe that there are people that are meant to be in your life. And when it comes to true love, I definitely believe that it's true, as in it's real. I don't know. I just feel like out of all of the people in the world, I feel like there was one person somewhere who was created for you and you were created for them, and you guys are meant to be together. And yeah.
Hey guys, so my name is Kyle. I am from the east side of Johannesburg. I have lived here in and around the Kensington / Eastgate / Bez Valley / Bedford View area my whole life. Since I can remember up until this point, I have lived here. I'm 25 years old. I am a media administrator / production manager, and I am married for just under a year. Next month, on the 28th of December, will be my anniversary. And in response to the questions, do I believe in soulmates and do I believe in true love? My response is twofold, and I guess the first bit is that in the general, I guess, understanding of soulmates, like someone you are destined to be with, and like it's written in a book somewhere, and you guys will meet and bang, like it will just come out that you guys are soulmates and you're meant to be together. I don't believe in it in that sense. However, I do believe that if there's a conscious decision to marry someone and you live with them for the rest of your life and you're committed to love them, you guys are soulmates. And yeah, so I do believe that that is the case. And also with true love, I don't believe anyone falls in love, but I 100% believe in true love. I believe that when two people make a conscious choice to just love one another, to put aside faults and failures, and to commit to love one another in spite of themselves and in spite of the other person, I believe that that's true love. So I do believe true love exists 100%. I am convinced of true love. However, soulmates, I guess in a traditional sense of like some airy fairy destiny, destined to be together, predestined business, I don't believe in that. However, choose the person and you guys can be soulmates and you can have true love. And so that is my response to the question. Yeah.
So this is a really good one. I think that to an extent I feel as though a soulmate is not just someone that you can be in a romantic relationship with. Like I feel as though you could also have multiple soulmates, and I just think maybe it's someone that you feel very connected to. So I mean, your best friend could be your soulmate. Yeah, maybe just someone that you connect with on a very deep level. And there could be many of those people in your life. Do I believe in true love? I believe that, like, I don't know, this might be deep, but I believe that not everyone knows how to love to like a full extent. You know, like I feel as though a lot of people only know how to love superficially, or they think that love is being able to like they mistake love for infatuation, or they mistake love for last, you know. But I think there's people who don't know what it's like. Those people don't know what it's like to love on a deeper level, I suppose, where love should be unconditional and should be changing, ever changing with like that person kind of thing, where people grow and so should your love for them and the way that you love them and stuff like that. And I think when your love can like last over difficult seasons and like difficult conditions and stuff like that, I believe that that might be true love, and that's a deeper form of love. And I think you can experience that. I believe that it can be experienced even in different forms as well, not just the romantic form, but I believe that true love is something that you experience when you can love someone beyond the superficial. So I think it exists. What do you think?
Yo, what's up, people? My name is Luan Coetzee. I live in Pretoria. Do I believe in soulmates, and do I believe in true love? Yes, I do believe in true love, but in soulmates, I do not believe that there is a soulmate for a person. I do believe that true love is a thing, and not in the sense of like you have one true love. I believe in the sense that you can truly love someone more than you can anyone else. For example, I have dated a few people, and without a doubt there is one of the girls that I've dated before that I would easily be able to say I loved and like gave everything to more than the others, and at the drop of a ball I would easily go back to that person and try things again, and that's what I mean with true love, in the sense that there is someone that you're gonna love more than others, just because of basic things, getting along well, just you vibing with the person. And then the reason I do not believe in soulmates is I don't believe that there is just one person for you in your life. I don't believe that there is just one and that you're destined to meet one person and you're just gonna meet this one person and just instantly know, oh my word, this is my soulmate, we were meant to be forever, this is the person I'm supposed to be with. I just believe that you come across people in your lifetime that are potential, and each person that you come across as a potential partner, at the end of the day it's up to you and up to that person whether you guys make it work or not, because I believe we have free will, and as much as I might stumble across one of these potential life partners during my lifetime, I might decide to make it work, and the other person might decide that they want to find someone else, and that just sucks for me then. But I don't believe that there is a one person for everyone. I believe that there is multiple people that you will come across during your lifetime, and it's up to you to choose who you're gonna marry and spend the rest of your life with. So yeah, that's a wrap. Cool guys, cheers.
Hello, my name is Malina. I am from Johannesburg, but I live in Tbilisi, Georgia at the moment, which is in East Europe. Do I believe in soulmates and true love? Stay tuned and you'll find out. Kidding. I'm going to start with what I think about true love, because I think it's slightly easier to define. I believe that true love exists only in the form of God's love for us, because it is beyond comprehension and without condition, and so far above and beyond what we think love is, that is the only or the truest form of love. I do not believe that there is one true love for each of us. So I don't think that there is one person out there that if I find him, he will complete me and it will all make sense and we'll live this fairy tale life. I don't think that exists. I think that way of thinking places far too much expectation on the other person to fulfill me and to meet my needs. And the way that Eckhart Tolle speaks about relationships encompasses that so perfectly. And he says that with the concept of relationship comes expectations, memories of past relationships, and further personally and culturally conditioned mental concepts of what a relationship should be like. Then people try to make reality conform to these concepts, and it never does. And so we suffer. And the fact of the matter is that there are no relationships. There is only the present moment, and in the moment there is only relating. And how we relate, or rather how well we love, depends on how empty we are of ideas, concepts, and expectations. And so I think that is at the core of loving someone and being with someone, is emptying yourself of ideas, concepts, and expectations that you have of what it should be like and how it could be, and how it, there is no such. There is only how it is, and you have to decide how you are going to move forward in what it is now and how you relate to a person now in that moment. Love is a state of being, in my opinion, and so it just forms part of us, and it's not this thing that we look for to attain. It is us. So yeah, do I believe in soulmates? Yes, I do. I believe that soulmates exist in romantic relationships, but also in friendships. And for me, when I think of soulmates, I think mostly of friendships, because these are people that we have throughout our life, and whether they change or not. So whether I'm friends with someone today and not 10 years down the line, or I am friends with someone for 10 years of my life, I think that friendships are kind of relationships that we don't have in romantic relationships. And I don't know, maybe that speaks to the kind of romantic relationships that I've had. But yeah, I just feel that that friendships are what soulmates are. So yeah, maybe soulmates were easier to define, my bad, but that's what I think.
Hey everyone, I'm Megan from Pretoria. Do I believe in true love? Yes, I do. I believe true love is when you become selfless and compassionate for more, towards more than one person, I believe. True love is definitely one of the most beautiful things on earth, but I also believe that true love can be self-love. And once you can love yourself, there is no other form of true love that can override your self-love. I think, yeah, self-love is honestly one of the greatest attributes to have as a person. Do I believe in soulmates? Yes, I do. I believe that there's more than one person that can be your soulmate, be it a best friend or a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a mom or a dad or your sister or your brother, whoever it is. I believe that you can have a few soulmates. For you to have only one soulmate in a world of 7 billion people, I think that's some crazy stuff. That's what I don't believe in. But yeah, I believe your soul can be connected to individuals. And once you have that connection, there's almost nothing that can break it. And yeah.
So, hey, my name is Megan Kent. I'm 17 years old and I'm from Vienna, Austria. And first of all, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to talk about this amazing 2 questions. And I will start with the first one. Do you believe in soulmates? And I would say yes, I do. But I mean, for a long time I didn't believe in it, but then I read this crazy theory, and it was actually by accident. And it was about the fact that God originally wanted to create people with 2 heads, 2 hands, legs, arms, heart, souls, like everything in double. But then he realized that this constellation was pretty much inconvenient, obviously. And so he divided them into 2 halves and called them soul people. But before he sent them to Earth, he gave them the purpose that he would spread the halves all over the globe, and their purpose would be to find the other half, so they would be like, they would fit together again. And he called this whole process, he called it finding your soulmate. And for real, I have thought about this theory several times, and I talked about it with my friends and family, and in the end I came to the conclusion that each of us has met a stranger in our life, maybe even got to know them a bit, and deep down we knew, and we had the feeling of knowing this person since forever, you know what I mean? And even though we didn't know each other at all. And to connect this directly with the second question, if I believe in true love, the answer is yes again. But I think the only thing is, and it's difficult, that to meet this person at the right moment, you know what I mean? The timing has to fit. But I have to say we're still young and our life has many surprises in store, and I'm sure about that. So who knows?
Hey, I'm Panashe. I do not believe in soulmates because, first things first, logically it makes no sense. It literally takes one person to marry the wrong person for us to all end up with the wrong person, if that makes sense. Or at least most of us to end up with the wrong person. So I don't think soulmates are a thing. I mean, that's not new news. I do believe in true love though, because I don't really know what fake love is. I don't think, obviously there are different kinds of love. And there's romantic love, and there's love for your friends and love for your family and things like that. But yeah, definitely, I don't think many of the people that get married would have gotten married if they didn't feel true love for someone. And obviously you can definitely fall out of love and other things can happen. But yeah, true love is a go. Soulmates and star signs are the same WhatsApp group. You're just chatting. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Taniesha. I'm from the Gold Coast in Australia, and I'm here to respond to the question, do you believe in soulmates and do you believe in true love? Personally, I'm convinced that soulmates do exist. In my perspective, an organic human connection can't be denied if it's strongly reciprocated. But as unfortunate as it is, I think the romantic stance of this generation has been generalized to lack in contrast to even a couple years ago. Even marriages aren't lasting as long as they did. Whether or not a connection is firstly developed by infatuation or a genuine connection, I perceive the term soulmates as personal point of view, regardless of the time it takes for someone to recognise that an individual has been tailored for them. However, the word true, I believe, can be heavily affiliated with terms such as organic or natural and even faithful. Once again though, in my opinion, being everyone carries judgment differently, I believe in true love. However, I don't say that without knowing the reality that someone may encounter many true forms of love, and they just might have needed those experiences in order to naturally find who they're looking for in the end. Or someone could regard each of their encounters as genuine love with no regret. Either way, they may carry that with them for the rest of their lives. And coming from me, there's no judgment, because I realize that everybody's mindset, everybody's opinions, judgment, and experiences are different. I'm only 18 years of age, and without asking for empathy, I haven't encountered true love yet. The word has been tossed around as it does for young people, but I can definitely confirm that I think it'll genuinely hit me when it happens, because true love happens to everyone differently, right? Thank you.
Hi, my name is Tebogo Tsoai, and I do believe in true love and soulmates. However, I don't feel as if there's only one true love out there for you, or one soulmate out there for you, because I mean, there are 7 billion people in this world, and I feel like before you get into a relationship or become exclusive with someone, there are 4 different levels that you're meant to connect on: spiritually, mentally, physically, and emotionally. And I don't think that there's only one person out there in this world that kind of has the same beliefs as you, same standards, same morals, same virtues, things like that. There are multiple people, and I think that's why there are 7 billion people. However, you may only find one person sometimes, and that's how it works. But I feel like there are quite a few people out in this world that you could potentially fall in love with, and you could potentially call your soulmate. And I think that's kind of the good thing about having 7 billion people in this world, because say, your spouse or your significant other passes away, for instance, and you go out there and there's still someone else that kind of reminds you of them, and that just shows how, you could have more than one soulmate and fall in love more than once. So I do believe in it, but I believe that there is more than one person out there that you could fall in love with, that you could potentially claim as your soulmate.
Hello. My name is Tshego, and I'm an art director from Johannesburg. So the question, do you believe in soulmates? Yes, I do. But I believe we definitely all have more than one soulmate, and that it also doesn't apply solely to romantic relationships. I guess I'd say that because of my own experience and how in my life I've met people that I've connected with in a completely different and unique way. And those encounters have held a huge place in my life. And I guess I've equated that with what I think a soulmate is. So yes, I do believe in soulmates, multiple soulmates, and across any type of relationship.
What's up? Hello, hi. My name is Mantjé of Daring Media ZA on the gram. These are very deep questions that you're asking, but I'll give it my best shot. I'll start with soulmates. The simple answer for me is no, but only because I believe that the way people understand soulmates is rather limited. I will highlight 2 limitations that I specifically find issue with. The first one is that people tend to understand soulmates in relation to romantic and sexual partners. I think that this does not speak to the full truth of what a soulmate can be. By definition, it is the recognition of a connection between 2 people that goes beyond social constructions. A connection of the souls, if you will. And this has existed between siblings, between mother and daughter, between best friends even. And I think that where these do happen, we need to identify them as soulful connections. That way we open ourselves to more opportunities to create these kinds of connections and not just depend on romantic partners. The second limitation of how people understand soulmates is that they think that a soulmate should be in their lives for a lifetime. I do not believe that that is true. Again, by definition, a soulmate refers to a connection that goes beyond the things that are of this world. Therefore, a soulmate cannot be bound by human conception of time and space. This is why ex-spouses can be each other's soulmates. People on opposite sides of the world can be each other's soulmates. And even widows can recognize their deceased partners as soulmates. It has more to do with how you have been impacted by that connection that you have made. With regard to true love, I believe that once we let go of the limited ideas of how we think divine connections can be made, we don't even have to question true love. And that is because once you create the space for it without any conditions, love just kind of becomes of us, because it's already all around us. That's me on that. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and I love you for listening. Bye.
Yeah, I definitely do think they are. Oh, by the way, it's Young T, the Don, you know what I'm saying? Original art dealer, anyways. Yeah, I definitely think they are such thing as soulmates. They're not always romantic, because, I mean, when we think about a soulmate, we think about something that's romantic or just a very intimate situation. When it's like, it could be like a friendship, you know. I feel like a lot of my friends, we are soulmates, and we just have a deeper connection, just based off the friendship, based on what we've been through. And yeah, but obviously there's also romantic soulmates. You just you know, if you know, you know. It's like one of those things, you know, when our parents talk about, when I saw your mom, I saw your father, I knew he was the one, she was the one, all of that. So I think that's soulmates. And yeah, there's definitely soulmates. I'll never let the world lie to me like that, because the world will try and lie and say there's no such thing as love, true love, no such thing as your person, all of that is all cap. But anyways, that's that.
Hey, I'm Zanz and I'm from Pretoria. I do believe in soulmates, I just don't think they're strictly romantic. I view them as people specifically designed to help you along your journey through life. If you do happen to fall in love with them, then that's great. Good on you, man. But to me, soulmates can be both platonic and romantic. On the matter of true love, I don't believe in it. Something about the wording makes it seem as if it's only for specific people and only a few can acquire it. When honestly, to me, it's really all just love. Everything's just under the love umbrella, just with different expressions.
Thank you so much to everyone who was involved. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I really love the series that we're doing on Art Dealers. I love hearing what you guys have to say. And thank you to everyone who's given me feedback and just really just engaged with this series. So next month, we're going to do our last one for the year, the last voicemail series for the year. And this question, again, it's going to be a 2-part, technically 3-part question. So I hope you guys are keen to be involved once again. And to anyone who's watching who wants to be involved, drop me a message and I'd be happy to have you on the next one. So this month's question for December is going to be, what has 2020 taught you? And what is a highlight and a low light from the year? I know for a lot of us, this was quite a tough year, myself included. So this is going to be quite an interesting one for me to think on. So hope to see you guys then. Cheers. It's Resident Black Spider-Man. Peace out.